Yo, what is up? I am gonna show you how to make retro 80s zingers, banger, jammer, dinger, slammer. This is a track called Played that I wrote and produced. I had my good pal Zach Callahan singing on it. Here's a picture of us hanging out. Let's jump into this, boys. Headphones on, swag. Let's just check out the freaking chorus of this first of all. So first of all, in the intro, we got a lot of cool stuff going on, but it's worth it to note that there is a huge low pass on this entire section, and then it automates sweeping out into the next section. So let's check out the drums that I got. Something super important to retro 80s vibes is that gated snare sound. So here is the snare drum all by itself. Sounds a little bit slappy, like a wet paper towel is hitting me in my eyeball. So with this reverb I have here, you can hear that it kind of splashes and then it cuts out really quick. It's not like a big boom. And then with a compressor on it, I'm really compressing it super hard. You can see I have the threshold way down low, and I have the attack just enough so we can hear that first transient, and the release is right away. So you hear that really hard click right in the beginning, and then the rest of the reverb kind of pumps back into it. And of course, we got the classic 808 tom fill. Very important to the 80s vibes. Got this very tasty synth sound. And I think something to note that sort of 80s retro synth sounds always utilize the envelope on the filter, whether it's opening it up as it plays or clamps down on it as it plays. And I do that both ways in this track. But with this one, you can kind of hear that right when you play it, it kind of opens up like that. So for this sound, I'm using my Messiah VST, which is just a Prophet 6 emulation. So you can hear right when I play the notes, the filter opens up right away. That is right here in the envelope of the filter. So if I turn the attack down, it's just open instantly. There's no real curve to it. And then I open it up a little bit. And now it takes time to actually open the filter into it. And there's a little bit on the release as well. You can hear when I let go, it kind of closes in on that. So very integral to the 80s vibes, bro. So this sound, I actually sidechained it to the kick drum, but I didn't for real sidechained it. I just did some volume automation because you have a little bit more control when you do it that way. And I did that only during the chorus, but the chords just kind of fan out and play their normal selves during everything else. And you also hear that while it's sidechained, I open the cutoff a little bit more before. It's kind of down here. But I opened it up just so it sounded a little bit brighter during the chorus. Very easy thing to do to give your track more energy is just opening the cutoff on the bigger sections and closing it back down. So the other sort of filter animation that I'm utilizing is in this sound right here. So for this, I actually just automated an EQ rather than the cutoff in the VST. I thought it sounded a little bit smoother. So we can see that filter just going absolutely insane. And you can also see I have a little bit of resonance, which is that bit of peak right there. If I turn that resonance back down, it's just not as extreme. It's not as quacky. It's not as duck sounding. So we can bring it in. And it's a little bit more quacky, more acidy, you could say. I'm just gonna keep going through these tracks. So this main hook sound, like the main melody in the post-chorus, I don't really remember where this sample came from. I know I made it myself. I think it's a piece of Zach saying something, saying a word, and then I just took a part of that and I'm just like playing it on the keyboard. It's super simple. So I had this song produced and ready to go for like a whole year, and I was listening to it and I felt like it needed something else, like just something a little bit more interesting to fill the space. And I was listening to The Neighborhood's Daddy Issues, which is actually a song that me and Zach used to listen to all the time. And they have this really cool detuned guitar sound. So I'm playing these really big, nice minor 11, 7 chords, whatever. But what I did, I have this VST on it, automating the pitch. So you can see the pitch adjust knob is actually kind of wavering back and forth, and it's not on beat. There's no time that it lands on. So this part isn't too crazy, but I just have this nice little guitar, little arpeggio thing, super open sounding. I'm always playing the open G when I do it. I'm just moving a few notes with my left hand. Obviously, I can't move notes with my right hand. I also have a really cool, groovy little funky guitar muted, palm muted line. And those are octaves. Sounds cool, hand hard left and right, easy peasy. The main sort of beginning sound. This is the sound that came with Mixcraft, which is the first music editing software I ever had in my life. I got it for my birthday or something, and that's what I mixed everything on until I was in like college, which is super embarrassing. But if anyone knows all the metal stuff I did, first album was totally mixed on Mixcraft. It wasn't until the second album that I moved to Reaper. But now I use Reaper. Anyways, Mixcraft came with this really cool VST that just had sounds in it, and you can't change them. It's not really sample based. I don't really know what it is, but there's this awesome sound in it. Patch number 100 called Brightness. That sounds most dope. And this originally was the heart, the core of the track, and I still think it is. I originally played that on guitar, and then I was like, you know what? It's time to be hip and cool and make an electronic production out of it. And this is what the lick was on guitar. I don't know, something like that. So all together we have this. And on the last chorus, I added a classic. A little cowbell. I don't know if you can hear that in the full mix, but I can feel it. As well as, if you can hear this, which you can't, just a super, super heavy low-end bass, which is just your standard sine wave synthesizer, just playing some low notes. So onto the effects, I have a white noise plugin that's just always on, and I bypass it on and off, and then I automate the filter. So it's sort of like a riser, and then cymbal sound. It's this arcade game sound, and so I just stretched it out really far and reversed it. And then I played the sample itself going into it. It's like another weird little riser thing. Another riser I have is this stock synth plugin I have, but the pitch is automated. And then I have these cymbals, reverse sounds, another reverse, got them all together, and the bridge sounds like this. Without all those effects, this entire thing falls apart. Check it out. Not nearly as much energy. Not nearly as much. Those are all the synths and the sounds and stuff like that. It's pretty straightforward if you ask me. But let's check out the main event, the beautiful Zach Callahan's vocals. And the main thing I wanted to talk about is just the chorus. So let's just listen to this soloed out because it's so beautiful.
You got me on play, I don't want to stay, I'll get out of your way.
So the chorus itself is just doubled.
Play, I don't want to stay.
And it's just comp, so I chose the best word of each take. And then I did that twice, but I used another take instead. And it just sounds a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. But the main event is this.
Play, stay.
And he's just singing a major triad. So this is in B major, so it's B, D sharp, and F sharp. He's singing those right on the downbeat, and it really just gives it some... It just gives it a lot more cool, quieter effect all together. Put it in.
You got me on play, I don't want to stay, I'll get out of your way.
Otherwise, everything else is just really simple thirds that he's harmonizing with himself.
Your hair down at me and stare, are getting so much closer.
So that's the whole production. It's funny, this production itself took me like a day to write and maybe a week to produce it and then have Zach come over to record it. But the music video that I produced for it,
your lips are getting so much
took me like 3 or 4 months to finish. So if you like this and appreciate all the hard work I've put into it, go ahead and check out the music video too. Anyways, that was it. Thanks for checking it out. Listen to all my other tracks on Spotify. I got new stuff coming in just a few weeks that I'm super stoked for. Check it out if you want, or you don't have to. Anyways, thanks for listening. Do whatever you want. Peace.
I don't want to stay.